It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to 2K Sports, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal, and the prop plane, Kenny Smith. Tonight, it'll be the Detroit Pistons going up against the Timberwolves in Minneapolis. For the Timberwolves, 5-5 over their last 10 games, but they're not satisfied with 500 ball, looking to tack one onto the win tally tonight. And for Karl Anthony Towns, just last season, GMs voted him the player they'd most like to build a team around. Shaq, I can't think of higher praise than that.
That's because Big Cats is a perfect example of the modern-day center. Can do it all, Ernie, on both ends of the floor.
I really like his game, too.
I agree. He's a terrific scorer on 3 levels, and that's pretty impressive. He can do it on the box, the mid-range, and the 3-ball, Ernie.
Yes,
he has a lot of years left in him. He can make a big impact. I probably would want to start a team with him as well.
Kevin Harlan will have the call. Game's about to start. We'll see y'all later.
It's the Timberwolves in Minnesota for a little interconference action here at the Target Center. Thanks for joining us, everyone. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and we'll have David Aldridge filling us in from the sideline. And, of course, Derrick Rose, a new phase in his career, playing today as a Detroit Piston for the first time.
And speaking of the trade, I spoke to him earlier, and, man, was he excited about getting the opportunity at a fresh start. He thinks he'll be able to get them to that next level, and I'm sure that's what their thought process was when they made the deal.
And with tip-off coming up, we've got just enough time to hear from our good friend David Aldridge on the sideline. D.A., take it away.
Well, guys, for decades we have seen elite big men dominate in the paint, but with more and more threes, they now have to cover a lot more ground defensively. So a few executives think the center position may undergo some downsizing in the years to come. Kevin?
Foot speed at a premium. David, as always, thank you. And at this point of the season, Clark, we can see which teams have the better depth, the better bench. If you would, talk about the importance of having a strong bench over the long haul.
For contending teams, I think it's a difference maker because it allows you to work through the length of the season in a more measured way, which gives your key players rest. You spread out the minutes over more players, so that tends to lend itself to freshness as you get ready for the playoffs. I don't know if you can overstate the value of a quality bench when you're a team that's expected to make a deep run in the playoffs.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. On the court for the Pistons, the big men are Griffin and Drummond. Reggie Jackson out there with Rose. And it's Kennard in at the 3, the small forward. Now here's Griffin after the miss from Andre Drummond. And stolen by Jang. Teague against Jackson. Outside Teague. Uncovered. That's good on the jump shot. Teague's got the scoreboard going with his first points of the night for the Timberwolves. Rose against Wiggins. Rose finds Jackson. Over Teague. Here's Drummond, and Drummond throws it down.
Boy, I like the activity of Drummond on the glass. I mean, he's so big and active. Excellent timing and hands, always pounding and grinding for offensive rebounds.
Here's Teague, following the bucket by the Pistons. Just 5 to shoot, and it's sent back by Drummond.
Drummond mixes defensive smarts with elite physical tools, and that's what makes him a solid defender. He's going to get his hands on a few shots each and every game.
Rose kicks to Griffin. Back to Rose. Here's Kennard, defended by Covington. Kennard, the pass to Drummond. Here's Griffin, and then Griffin with the dunk.
You've got to plug up these lanes to the basket, especially when Griffin is slashing with force.
The Timberwolves have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Pass to Wiggins. Drummond working against Towns. Wing shot on the way. Rebound by the Pistons. This game coming after a loss against the Bucks.
Yeah, they gave up in that one. The defense constantly breaking down way too many times.
Yep, and that's not a winning performance. I mean, you got to tighten up the defense moving forward if you're going to get some W's.
And that's one of his strengths, knocking down those long-range jump shots.
Timeout called, first of the game for Minnesota.
Well, last season the Wolves ended a 14-year playoff drought. It was the longest in the association. And they did it in dramatic fashion, a winner-take-all overtime victory in the final game of the season against the Nuggets. I actually watched that game, and it was worth staying up late for.
And as we're reaching the end of the calendar year, here's a great chance to delve into the updated power rankings. You take a look at the 76ers. They've achieved some upward momentum, climbing to the 5th spot on the board.
Well, right now for the Pistons, they're a team in some semblance of disarray. Moving down in the rankings, guys aren't communicating well. This is where your leaders need to step up.
And it's sent back by Drummond. And it's Rose penetrating. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt. And if the regular season brought encouragement for the Wolves, Clark, the postseason showed us just how far they've got to go.
That's right. That's exactly right, Kevin. A win in the first round, just one win. The Rockets were a hard matchup for them, but there's a big difference between being a playoff team and a title contending team.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, not a lot of effort put forth on defense there. I mean, I think he's definitely got to play up on him more and off the screen in that situation.
And for Detroit, a lot of changes, Greg, in their front office this past offseason.
A new GM and Dwayne Casey brought in to coach. Could see a drastic shift in style and approach for the Pistons moving forward.
Now here's Drummond. 23 points for him the last game against Milwaukee. Griffin, no one around him. Wiggins with the rebound.
Can't get more open than that. No idea how he mistimed that mid-range shot. Maybe he was too open.
Pachulia, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. For Minnesota, they've gone 3 of 7 from the field since we've gotten underway. And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That is his first foul of the game. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. Teague up top, guarded by Jackson. Teague finds Towns. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. And Jeff Teague grew up in Indianapolis, been a season with the Pacers. Clark, you've spent some time around that team. What are your impressions of Teague?
I think he's really solid. Kind of a quiet leader, steady, reliable. He actually stayed in his parents' basement while he was with the Pacers. Pretty frugal, I would add, too. They say you can't go home again. I guess he proved that theory wrong.
Now here's Rose. He had 15 points last outing. Jackson kicks to Griffin, and the slam by Blake Griffin.
Yes, he does, Kevin. Love seeing Griffin finish with power at the rim. Awesome at throwing it down when he's in this deep.
Here's Jang. He had 10 points in the win against Sacramento. Here's Towns, and the rebound goes to Griffin.
You just make the assumption that's going down. I mean, an uncontested mid-range jumper, I think he should have buried it, but you know what? He didn't. It happens.
And such a tough cover off the dribble is Derrick Rose. When he stops short for the pull-up, you're really at his mercy.
Here's Wiggins, following the score by Derrick Rose. Wiggins against Rose. Here's Towns. Here's Jang. Second chance shot, and Griffin sends it back.
just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. You know, it's one thing to box out, but you've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds. And they look strong here in the early going.
And here's Wiggins after Reggie Jackson was able to get the triple. Zhang against Griffin. It's rebounded by Towns. Towns has got 4 rebounds now tonight.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
And the shot goes down.
Inviting contact on the drive. Wiggins with the aggressive move. Pays off there.
Jackson kicks to Rose. Lets it fly. Griffin's shot is off.
This has been a rough, turbulent outing for him so far. Fortunately, the rest of his team has bailed him out.
Covington dishes to Zhang. Can't connect from short range.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Exactly. Can't play it any better than that, Greg.
The position of power forward, Clark, that was your position. Did you ever think it would become a major weapon for stretching the floor as it is now?
No, I didn't see that evolution happening. I mean, again, at that time in the 80s, even into the 90s, you had the small forward and the power forward was more of an enforcer. I was actually kind of a hybrid at the time because I could deal inside effectively on the glass and because of my size and strength, but also could step out and put it on the floor and pass it a little bit. So, no, the evolution with the 4-man in this day and age, I did not foresee that at all. Love what's happened with it, but it speaks, I think, to the athleticism and skill of these bigger guys now.
It does. Whole new look on the floor for Minnesota. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Akers checked in for Griffin. Markieff Morris comes in for Luke Kennard. Tony Snell's checked in for Rose. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Jackson. And this Timberwolves team, so fun to watch.
I agree. All-star talent on the rise, athleticism, and they can light it up too. Yeah, fun group.
Now here's Dang. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game. 5 to shoot. And Jones has it in the corner. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
Where was the defense? Come on now. Where was it? No idea how they gave up that open a look.
Snell kicks to Galloway. And a miss there on the triple.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
Jones, no luck. Pistons leading by 3. On the wing, Morris. To the inside, Galloway. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
Now here's Napier. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for Detroit.
You know, they've done a great job of getting a hand up on shooters. Actually have gotten a lot of blocks as well, solidifying that defensive effort.
And also, how about the fact defensively, they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
And so Bell nails both of them.
And Bell is on a mission to show how special he can be. An athletic, energetic forward who plays with a real passion.
Here's Galloway. Kicks it to Morris. Pachulia inside. And he drops in the layup off the glass. And the Pistons lead by 5. The Timberwolves shooting 33% here in the first quarter. Pass to Layman. Bell with it. Covered by Morris. Fade away. Rebound by the Pistons.
I think in that situation, that was a nice try to create some space for himself with the fadeaway.
Here's Maker. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Before the NBA, it was his internet highlight reels that gave Thon Maker notoriety. His fluidity for a 7-footer captured the imagination. Yet he's still figuring out how to get it done at the NBA level.
The first free throw is good. And last year, Maker's minutes went up, but his shooting took a dip. Clark, cause for concern?
No, not really, Kevin. I think he's shown that he's got NBA range and a nice stroke. The area where he needs to continue to get better, areas I should say, is using his size to rebound and defend at a higher level.
And he makes both free throws.
The skill set package that Maker has is intriguing. A long, lanky, big guy who can shoot it and rebound. I think he just needs to focus on being more consistent.
Now, here's Napier. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. The teardrop falls in.
Resplendent release on the floater. When executed correctly, it's a beautiful, effective shot.
Galloway kicks to Snell. Jacks up a three. Cans it from downtown. Snell's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
And they are shooting the lights out from distance here early.
How do you stop this? I mean, it seems like they can't miss.
Back to Bell. Bucket is good.
And this is where Bell likes to operate. Comfortable inside, knows he can get it done from there.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. In an effort to protect the players, games are called a little tighter sometimes. And that said, Clark, which guys still bring the physicality that draw the eyes and the attention of the officials?
Well, some of these guys bring attention to themselves by virtue of their reputations, but in terms of physical presence, Steven Adams, to me, is just a behemoth of a guy.
He's grit. He's just all grit, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. I mean, he just oozes that with his size and the way he goes about his work.
He does. And here's Morris for three. Rebounded by Bell. Timberwolves trail by 6. Left side, Jones. Looking for Dang. He gets it there. And it's sent back by Morris. And it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Dang. And it's Galloway with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Detroit Pistons. This their first chance to take a look at the Timberwolves this season.
An interconference matchup. Last season, they went 2-0 against this club.
And guys, when you've got two teams like these on the playoff bubble, every game matters. This should be a good one.
Minnesota calls timeout.
Yeah, you know, some of it's shot selection, some just bad luck, and they just can't get anything going.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they've been a bit unlucky. Some of it is poor shot selection, in a slump, no doubt. But it can be turned around. They just need to find ways to score the ball. Here's a chance to take a look at the Pistons and how they rank in the NBA right now.
And you go back to their second chance points. Very productive in that regard. I love to watch them work. They have that sixth sense, if you will, for sneaking inside and anticipating the path of the ball.
Now here's Jones. And the foul called on Markieff Morris. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
Oh no, he's the last guy you want to put on the line. You can just about book the points every time he steps up there.
And for Tyus Jones, 3 gold medals playing for the U.S. national team throughout high school. He was Minnesota's Mr. Basketball, a national title Clark in his lone season at Duke. I mean, this kid's already got a lot of hardware.
Yeah, he's got a cabinet full of hardware, and I think he's got a chance to develop into a really solid point guard in this league. Again, just 1 year of college, very early in his career. You got to give him time because he's shown that he can be a winner at the levels he's played at prior to the NBA.
Here's Snell. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. Snell's got 5 now.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Feeds to Bell. To the inside. Morris kicks to Maker. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Timberwolves trail by 8. Jones looking for an opening. Rebounded by the Pistons.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Here's Napier. That one a little long. Pistons leading by 8 at the elbow. Maker. And the bucket is good. Three-point play chance here for him.
And boy, are they attacking the paint.
They sure are, looking to get their buckets up close and personal.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Towns is checked in.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And free throw good from Maker. The Timberwolves shooting 33% here in the first quarter. Now here's Napier. Tight defense on him. Jones, no one around him. From outside, off the mark. Detroit's gone 3 of 7 from three-point range in the first quarter. Snell, no good.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
And here's Napier. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. Out to the right wing. Shot clock at 5. Here's Towns. Gets the jumper from the corner to fall. Towns has got 7 points.
That one looking good the whole way, guys. I mean, for a young center, Towns very mindful of his shot mechanics.
And so it's Detroit in control with a 9-point lead to end the quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. Back to the action after this word. The former #1 pick overall in 2015, Karl Anthony Towns, spoke about the aspirations of this team.
Every single day we're thinking about how can we be the team that we need to be to not only make the playoffs, but to make it deep into the playoffs and give ourselves a chance of being a championship team. We have so much talent. We have great veterans. We have a great front office, a great coaching staff. So with all that on our side, we feel we have a great chance to find that way to success.
Yep, one step at a time, Greg. That's the mindset to have.
Yeah, you can't have too much too early. But with Towns leading the charge, this team is in great hands.
And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And guys, looking at what you've seen so far from the Pistons, what do you think?
I think they play great D and not giving up anything easy early on.
Exactly. I mean, they've made their presence felt on this end. Excellent job contesting shots so far.
Bell is out there with Lehman. Then it's Wiggins. Then it's Karl Anthony Towns. And it's Napier in at the point. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Timberwolves. Wiggins with it. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Sacramento.
And we have to mention his rebound. It wasn't all about the offense. He battled his tail off down low.
Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east already. We are in December. You look at the Celtics, earning the first place position with a terrific record. And we've seen them perform splendidly pretty much all season long so far, and they're definitely the team to beat. And, of course, there's the Pistons. They have a lot of ground to make up.
And I think for the Pistons, they haven't made any of the strides they were hoping to see prior to the season. Again, hanging around at the bottom of the standings.
Yeah, it's full makeover time now, guys. I'm sure they've learned their lesson that this roster is not one that can sustain any kind of success in today's NBA.
They grab their own miss. Drummond passes to Jackson. And that one comes up a bit short. To the middle. Yep, it goes. And the Piston lead is cut to just 5 on the basket from Towns.
Towns is a handful in deep. I mean, you look at his size, his height, and his length. Combine that with his strength, hard to guard.
And here's Morris for three. Here's Drummond. Another shot. And the rejection by Towns. Now here's Napier. Not a lot of room. Unable to get that one. And it's Detroit the other way. They've led by as many as 11 points. They'll be off to Charlotte for a game against the Hornets. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. Here's what the Minnesota Timberwolves have lined up on their schedule. On Friday, they'll be matching up against DeMar DeRozan and the San Antonio Spurs. Then on Sunday, they'll go up against Russell Westbrook and the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And, you know, nobody loves playing on the road, but it does offer a good chance to see exactly what your team is made of. This team is going to find out a lot about itself over the next stretch of games.
Minnesota making some changes. Jang is checked in for Jordan Bell. Robert Covington comes in for Jake Layman. And it's Teague in for Napier. And then for Detroit, Blake Griffin, he's checked in for Thon Maker. Luke Kennard comes in for Morris. And it's Rose in for Reggie Jackson. Now here's Jang. No points in the game yet for him. Teague against Rose. Teague can't hit. Snell kicks to Griffin. To the inside. Drummond. And it's Drummond with the jam.
What a find by Griffin. He's a lot more skilled as a passer than he gets credit for as far as power forwards go. He has terrific vision.
It's tipped, and that's out of bounds. Minnesota will retain possession.
And let's check out some stats. Here are the numbers for Karl Anthony Towns. Averaging about 24 points, 13 rebounds, and 2 assists. And he brings that offensive firepower to the team. Scoring just comes natural.
And, you know, defenses are throwing everything at him, yet he's still able to put up points. He's really unstoppable.
Outside Griffin. Teague against Rose. To the wing on the left. Snell, no good. And there's the foul. It's on Tony Snell. That is his first foul of the game. Tim Frazier's checked in for the Pistons. Teague finds Towns. Basket counts. Towns has got 6 points in the quarter.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
It's deflected, and he's able to get it back. Here's Rose. Minnesota with the rebound. Towns has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Here's Teague. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. And you look at Jeff Teague, now with a decade in the league out of Wake Forest. Greg, what does he bring to the table aside from the fact that he's been in the playoffs every single year of his career?
Yeah, I mean, he's an explosive slasher and really has grown as a playmaker. Not a star, but a quality starting point guard.
2 shots. Last on the
First one falls for him.
And Teague is just the player you want drawing fouls and getting to the line. A solid free throw shooter.
The Pistons making a change here. Calderon's checked in. And so Teague hits 2 free throws.
You know, he's a steady hand at the free throw line, showing tremendous confidence in this one.
Calderon kicks to Kennard. There's the pass to Drummond. And here's Rose outside. Minnesota with the rebound. Towns has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Covington wide open. He fires. Knocks down the 3 ball. Covington's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Calderon taking his time here. In it goes. That's his 3rd bucket. He's missed 5 so far.
It was all about his athleticism when Griffin first came into the league, but it didn't take long to see he was about a lot more than that. He's got serious skills, down low. How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Here's Calderon after the made shot from Jeff Teague. Good on the bucket. 8 points for Blake Griffin.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Teague kicks to Zhang. Passes to Wiggins. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Towns, no luck.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Yeah, still close, but with their tough play on the boards, we're certainly seeing the effort.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Now, here's Covington. He's coming off a 10-point game against Sacramento.
And, you know, that night his defense was remarkable as well. He was excellent at coming up with steals.
And so it's Detroit with the ball after the missed three from Karl Anthony Towns.
And just not able to find the target from three-point range here in the second quarter, although he did knock down one in the first.
Luol Deng is checked in for Minnesota. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Galloway's checked in. From the wing. And he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron.
Building and establishing comfort in the jump shot, something Wiggins has going for him now.
Now here's Teague. D right on him. Stolen by Rose. To the paint and stolen by Wiggins. And now Minnesota on the fast break. Here's Covington. Here's Zhang. Got a piece of it. The feed to Galloway and stolen by Jeff Teague. Wiggins kicks to Covington. Teardrop shot. Andre Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Rose, good.
And Rose has shown himself capable of knocking down that three when he's got some daylight.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Minnesota calls timeout.
You know, it's so rare to see a player who really struggles at the free throw line dramatically improve their free throw percentage. But that's exactly what Andre Drummond did last season, taking it from the 30s, how about up into the 60s.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Jones is checked in. And let's take a second to view a list of shooting guards who have been very dependable offensively this season. These two guards are the most accurate in the league. Derrick Rose third.
You know, just ask this group. Sometimes when you're hot, you're hot. And it's a comforting feeling for a coach to know you've got one of those guys roaming on the perimeter.
And not only can they light it up from the perimeter, Greg, but they get their buckets getting to the rim as well. I mean, aggressive moves to the basket are always going to help your shooting percentage. You got to get some easy ones to shoot a high percentage.
And 60% of the free throw line, below average for an NBA player. But for Drummond, it changes everything.
I mean, opposing teams much less likely to use that hack-a-shack method. That keeps him on the floor and, more importantly, allows him to be aggressive offensively and just attack the rim.
And here's Jones following the three-pointer by Blake Griffin. Jones kicks to Zhang over Drummond. Zhang, no luck.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
3-on-3. Jones, the pass to Deng. Missed inside.
You know what? His finishing ability, not really at the level that you would expect from a pro, but he's going to have to start playing with more force.
Now here's Rose. 7 points in the game. He gets that one. And now an 8-point Detroit lead.
They're up right now because he's been dominant on offense, and man, I like seeing him catch fire like this.
Minnesota's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. Outside, Jones. He kicks it to Zhang. And the refs are going to rule that unnecessary contact. It's a flagrant one foul.
Boy, a very hard foul that time, and the officials had to slap him with the flagrant. I mean, you can't let him get away with that kind of contact.
Yeah, gee, that's an easy call for the officials to make when there's that much contact. The league is really cracking down on those sort of plays. Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Bell is checked in for Robert Covington. And it's Napier in for Wiggins. Then for the Pistons, Pachulia. He's checked in for Andre Drummond. Morris comes in for Rose. And it's Jackson in for Langston Galloway. Here's Griffin, and then Griffin with the dunk.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones.
Hey, they've got a nice, comfortable lead here, fellas. Might as well keep it simple. Do it a plain, simple one-hander, just like pound cake.
I would agree.
You know, Kevin, this team is struggling a bit right now. I mean, I hope he can find his rhythm and start making his shots out there soon. Otherwise, ...
And it's Jones with the ball for the Minnesota Timberwolves. 7-point differential. Napier feeling it out a bit. Tang against Morris. Shoots from the right block. Tang with the bucket. Tang's got 5 points in the quarter. Pistons leading by 5. Pass to Griffin. Puts it up from 7. No good that time. Good D by Bell. Minnesota's gone 2 of 3 when they've stepped beyond the arc in the second quarter. Napier dishes to Jones. Kicks it to Dang. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
A moment here to check out some of the stats for Blake Griffin. Averaging about 23 points per, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. And you know, pretty terrific numbers across the board.
Yeah, so many books in his library. He lights up the scoreboard on a nightly basis.
Jackson against Jones. On the wing, Morris. Another 3 for Detroit.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Jake Layman's checked in for Jang. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Tony Snell's checked in for Luke Kennard. He makes that one drop, only a second and 5 tries.
I'm not sure who was supposed to be on him that possession. I mean, apparently neither did the defenders.
Now here's Jackson. Napier covering. Pass to Pachulia. He kicks it to Morris. Low block shot. He can't get it to go. So Minnesota will take it the other way.
And we haven't seen them be quite as aggressive driving the basketball, settling far too much for jumpers.
Yeah, that's a good observation on your part, Greg. Fewer free throw attempts for them this quarter. And the danger is they can't afford to get too comfortable out there because they've got the lead. Otherwise, it might start to get away from them.
Here's Morris. Tyus Jones picking up that last basket. And that one is good.
Oh, nice, strong drive there. If that's who's going to be guarding him, then he's got some weight to throw around.
Karl Anthony Towns checked in for the Timberwolves. Thon Maker's checked in for the Pistons.
One shot.
Free throw good for Morris. And Markieff Morris out of Kansas. A spread 4, as they say.
And able to stripe it from anywhere on the floor. A good secondary scorer who can also create his own shot on the block at times.
Pistons leading by 7. Jackson from long range trains the three-pointer. Jackson's got 8 points.
Tell you what, it does not matter who's shooting. The defense has got to be better at getting a hand up on long-range shooters. You've got to challenge the shot.
Now here's Napier. Here's Towns. And another field goal in this total. Make it 7 for 14, shooting 50%.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Well, the defensive rotations, Greg, have been a step slow, and it's really helped them get that ball inside time after time.
Here's Maker. 5 points in the game. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Just 3 to shoot. Jackson misses. From deep. And so we wrap up the first half. Pistons lead by 8. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Andrew, they shot the lights out in the first half. What has to change?
Get back. Focus on getting back, guarding your man, and not taking these real.
It starts with a man-on-man challenge. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break, with the third quarter soon to follow, right here on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Diesel and the Jet. Welcome to the halftime show on 2K Sports. Some incredible work in this one by Blake Griffin. He had 13 points, 2 assists, and 6 rebounds. Taking a look at the Pistons, Shaq, what did you think?
Well, Kenny should appreciate this. I love the ball movement. They were in sync as a unit, and their assist numbers were impressive. Anytime you get 5 players working together like that instead of one guy doing it alone, it's always going to be a boost. That's the primary reason they're in control of the game.
Kenny, let's get your insight on the Timberwolves.
They need to break it down. And I look at the individual areas that they're struggling, like they're getting pounded. I mean pounded, Ernie, on the boards. That's a hustle stat.
And that's going to do it for us here. The second half of action is coming your way.
We come back to Minnesota now with a striking look at the 10th Avenue Bridge, downtown Minneapolis, off in the distance. And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books, 1 half to go. Karl Anthony Towns has been sensational.
Yeah, so far they haven't found an answer for him, a scoring machine here in that first half.
Yeah, and it's been fun to watch, partner, because not only is he shooting a high percentage, a good percentage, he's also carrying the team.
Timberwolves trail by 8. And on the floor for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. We've got Reggie Jackson, Maker out there with Griffin. Then there's Derrick Rose. And it's Kennard in at the 3. And the officials calling for a 3-second violation. And a look now at the breakdown between 3-point and 2-point shots attempted here tonight for Detroit.
And boy, they've been producing points both inside and out. That kind of symmetry offensively is a great sign, and it's correlated with their early success.
Now Rose. Here's Jackson. And the layup falls. Jackson's got it going here in the start of the second half. The first points in the third quarter for the Pistons. Here's Teague. It's a 10-point game. Wiggins outside. Launches a 3. Buries the long-range jumper. Wiggins has got 7 points in the game.
I'll tell you what, how easy does Wiggins make the game look? I mean, in the flow, excellent stroke from distance. That's fun to watch.
Now here's Jackson. Here's the dish to Maker. Over Towns. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. 7 points for Thon Maker.
Yeah, using that mid-range area well. Give Maker some space to get his shot off, and you'll regret it.
Teague finds Wiggins. Here's Towns. First minute and a half of basketball here in the third quarter. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse.
Great night for Towns. Can hurt you from any spot on the floor.
Outside Griffin. Kennard, the pass to Griffin. From deep, Rose sinks the triple. 12 points for him.
Nothing but money for him to start the half. They've made all 3 of their shot attempts.
Timberwolves trail by 10. T kicks to Covington. 2 minutes into the second half of play now. Now the pass to Wiggins. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Kept alive. A second chance effort. And Towns lays it in. Towns has got 19 points.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
Now here's Jackson. He's got 10. Maker, no one around him. No good on the shot. A bit long that time.
Even with that miss, they're shooting 75% coming out of the break. That's a strong start to the half.
Wiggins. Rebound by the Pistons. They've led by as many as 11 points. Rose passes to Maker. Outside for Jackson. For the 3. And Karl Anthony Towns pulls it down. Towns has got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Feeds it to Wiggins. And it's out of bounds. And they say last touch by Griffin. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. Taking a look at Golden State. Quite a season they've assembled here, guys. Perched up there in first place and playing terrific basketball game in and game out. And, of course, there's Minnesota just way behind.
And I think for Minnesota, they've stayed right there, just in sniffing distance of the conference leaders. That's a solid accomplishment at this stage of the season.
You know, I thought maybe they'd have it in them to actually join those leaders this season. But you're right, it's still nice work considering where they are.
Blake Griffin really making a difference here.
And he has absolutely worn them out in the paint. They need to come up with a plan to limit his touches in the interior.
And the Pistons making a change here. Drummond's checked in. Now here's Towns. 19 points in the game. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up.
Well, I tell you what, so hard trying to corral Towns. He's got excellent strength, good feet, good hands, and he's got a will to score the ball that you've got to appreciate. Well, the 2016 Rookie of the Year, Karl Anthony Towns, a.k.a. Cat. Only the 5th player to win that award unanimously. And by the way, in year 2, he set the Timberwolves franchise record for scoring in a season.
Teague with a clean look. And another 3 for Minnesota.
You know, there isn't a lot of time in between when Teague caught the ball and then when he let it fly. I mean, that was a great example of a quick catch and shoot.
Griffin dishes to Jackson. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. And you talk about Towns' sophomore year. He became the first player, Clark, in NBA history to record 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 100 three-pointers in a single season.
Wow, that is impressive, boy. But his shooting ability, for his size, remarkable. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me before his career is done, Kevin, if he joins Dirk Nowitzki as the only 7-footers in the 50-40-90 club. 50% two-point field goals, 40% or better from 3, and 90% from the line.
The free throw drops for Jackson.
And Jackson certainly doesn't lack confidence. A speedy guard who can fill it up in no time.
Jordan Bell's checked in for Jang. Jackson hits both of them.
You know, and Reggie Jackson, a really solid first season and a half in Detroit, but the last 2 seasons, injuries have really held him back.
Now here's Teague, 11 points in the game. Back to Towns. Griffin against Bell. Towns wide open. Rebound Andre Drummond. Drummond's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Shoots over Towns. And it's Drummond missing. And Reggie Jackson in 2016-17 battling knee tendonitis. Last season, Greg, a severe right ankle sprain.
I mean, he's so important in terms of his impact for the Pistons. An athletic, physical player. When he's right, he can be a difference maker on both ends.
Here's Kennard after the made shot from Jeff Teague. And Drummond kicks to Griffin. Outside Jackson. Takes a three. Rebounded by Bell. And the foul called on Blake Griffin. That's his third foul of the game. Jake Layman's checked in for the Timberwolves. Timberwolves trail by 3. On the wing, Wiggins. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. Wiggins has got 5 points now this quarter. And it's Rose with the ball for the Pistons. They've led by as many as 11 points. It counts, and the foul. It's going to be on Andrew Wiggins.
And Rose playing a big role offensively. He's got to be a focal point of your defensive scouting report. No doubt he can hurt you.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. And Rose, no good on that one.
And unfortunately, injuries will always be the concern with Derrick Rose. Still loves the game of basketball, knows he is limited compared to what he once was. Amazing with all he's fought through, he can still perform at such a high level.
Minnesota making a switch here. Napier's checked in. Timberwolves trail by 3. And with Rose, as you said, his love of the game is still there. And he still wants to play.
I mean, many players would have just walked away from having their body trimmed. But Rose said last season he loves what he gets to do and still would be a water boy if he had to. You have to admire Rose's attitude and approach in that regard.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. You look at Towns, he's really been playing well.
Yeah, he's just torching them right now. A good decision to huddle up, kind of hit the reset button, and figure out how to slow his roll.
So for the Pistons, Pachulia, he's checked in for Drummond. Morris comes in for Blake Griffin. And Tony Snell subbed in for Luke Kennard. Now here's Rose. 14 points for him. Towns with the defensive effort. For Minnesota, they've gone 8 of 12 from the field since the beginning of the third. And Wiggins throws it down.
Finishing with authority. You like to see Wiggins playing with that kind of attitude and edge.
Now here's Jackson. 12 points for him. Wiggins with some nice D. And they have certainly been looking locked in offensively.
They sure have. Staying aggressive and playing under control.
Oh, I love how Towns plays with a chip on his shoulder. He brings it every night with force.
Now here's Rose. They've been leaning on him for a decent chunk of their offense. He's averaging over 15 points a game. Connects from three-point range.
Watch out. Now that he's got his first 3 of the half, there might be more in store.
Here's Bell. Power down with both hands.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam, using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there. Sure.
I get the feeling, guys, that he may be sensing that this is a critical time in this game.
Now here's Jackson. He's got 15. There's Snell. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
Absolutely fearless. I mean, a nice subtle adjustment there going up against Wynn.
I could not say it any better, showing you some real focus, taking it inside against the bigger man.
The Timberwolves making a switch here. Deng's checked in. Minnesota's gotten 2/3 of their three-pointers to fall tonight. They're 6 of 9 overall. Passes to Layman. Kicks to Wiggins. Over Pachulia. That's short off the rim. Detroit's gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
Oh, no, you hate to see that. Those are just the kind of errors that can cost you in a game like this.
So it's Detroit now. And stolen by Wiggins. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Ahead is Lehman. Good, and it's Napier with the assist that time. Napier's got his 6th assist on the night. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Timberwolves.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. There's been an attack mode on the defensive end.
Yeah, I think you also have to give them a lot of credit for how well they've risen up to meet shooters to challenge shots in this game. A lot of blocked shots tonight.
From deep, Rose.
Good discipline on defense. Wiggins right on top of it the whole way.
Rose, no good. Wiggins surveying the floor. Knocked loose, and so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. A moment now to see how the schedule is looking for Detroit. They're off to Charlotte to face off with the Hornets. Then on Sunday, the Atlanta Hawks come into town. That will tip off a homestand for them.
And that game against the Pacers, they'll need to be at their best for this contest. Anything short of excellence, and they'll be in for a rough ride.
It's stolen by Morris. Here we go, one-on-one. Snell from outside. Rebound, Minnesota. Bell's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. So both teams making some changes here. Minnesota's gotten the 3-ball working for them in the second half. They've hit 3 out of 3 shots from long range. To the middle, stolen by Jackson. Down low. Pachulia, good. Pachulia's got the game tied up here for Detroit.
Boy, good job firing the pass inside there. I mean, all his teammate had to do was catch and finish.
Okogie. Second shot opportunity, and it's good on the way in. Bell's got 12 in the game.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
The battle to a standstill on the boards has really been something to watch, and the game's not over yet. We'll see if one of these teams maintains more energy than the other going down the stretch.
To the middle, it's stolen by Morris. Now here's Jackson, guarded closely. Pass to Morris. And he converts the layup. 10 points for him.
Boy, I like how fast, how quickly he went up with the shot, realizing that his man had no chance.
And so Napier will bring it up for the Timberwolves. He kicks it to Bell. Six on the shot clock. Okogie, and again it's Minnesota.
And a nice spark for their offense here in the second half. Now above 50% for the game.
And you know, guys, that kind of offensive efficiency really keeps a lot of pressure on the opponent, and that's part of why the lead is what it is.
Jackson, and the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
He has a little bit of trickeration with that one. Gets that one to go against the limb.
Trickeration. I like that, partner. That's pretty strong word creation. And you've got to be creative, though, whether you're commentating or hooping, especially when you're going inside. One shot. One shot.
And the free throw is good. Now leading by 1. 1:39 left here in the third quarter. Poke loose. Pass to Chang. It's Covington on the wing. The pass to Napier. Six on the shot clock. A second chance effort, and Jang puts it in. Jang's got 5 points so far. Oh, wow, guys, doesn't look good. We've got an injury here.
And that's the one thing you just really can't control or even guard against, and that's injury.
Yeah, you know, aside from some of the player protection rules, which have been of benefit, A lot of it just comes down to what the body can withstand.
Kennard, he's checked in for Jackson. We've got 1:18 left to play here in the third. For Detroit, they have shot 10 of 13 from the free throw line. The first free throw is good. Teague, he's checked in for Luol Deng. He doesn't get the second one.
Listen, there's no doubt he feels like they should have the lead, but that miss will keep it all tied up.
And there's the foul. It's on Tony Snell. That'll be his second foul of the game. Pass to Napier. Here's Teague. He's got 13. Kicks it to Jang. Dishes to Napier. Clock at 6. Knocks it loose. Misses from close range. They have a chance to go 2 for 1 here.
Let's see how they play the clock.
Oh, Morris in position. In the corner, it's Maker over Bell. And Maker the bucket on the assist by Drummond. And it's 9 points for Thon Maker.
Maker feels like he can make the defense pay off the pass, aggressively looking for the catch and shoot.
Teague left side. From 12 feet out. Rebound Andre Drummond. Drummond's got 11 rebounds in the game. Here's Kennard. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
And he placed that pass out in front of him and let him just run into it in rhythm.
Teague feeling it out a bit. Pass to Bates-Diop. That's good, and so Teague with the assist.
Terrific awareness from the savvy point guard. Jeff Teague is excellent at getting the ball to the open man.
Reggie Jackson firing on all cylinders for the Detroit Pistons. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
And he may not be known as a pass-first guy playing out of the two-guard spot, but he shows here that he can dole out an assist or two when he needs to.
That's right. I mean, that's not his primary duty, but when the situation calls for it, he can do it and does it well.
And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. Pistons leading by 3. Teague is at the point with Wiggins at the 2. Down low, it's Jang and Towns. And it's Covington in at the 3 slot. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Morris against Covington. And it's blocked, but he stays with it. Shot clock at 2. Rose, no good. Minnesota's gone 6 of 10 from three-point range, up over 50% for the ball game. Now the feed to Wiggins. Looking for Jang, he gets it there, and he drops it in from the low post. Jang's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Timberwolves. Here's Griffin, and Gorgie Jang is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Pulls from the top of the key. Shots good by Kennard. And the Pistons lead by 3.
Perfect dime drop that time. Nice execution of the bounce pass.
T kicks to Towns. Shot on the wing. And again, it's Minnesota.
Yeah, you look at Towns, and he's very good in the in-between game. Can knock those shots down consistent.
Pass to Morris. The Pistons working the ball around now. Kennard, the pass to Griffin. Drills the three-pointer.
Confident and composed on the three-point shot at a critical juncture.
We're just over a minute and a half now into the 4th. Here's Towns. Detroit with the rebound. Griffin's got 8 rebounds in this game. Kennard, the pass to Rose. And it's good for 2. And now a 6-point Piston lead.
And Derrick Rose certainly equipped athletically to punish teams in the paint.
Teague finds Jang. Back to Teague. Puts up a 3. Second chance shot. Jang, no luck.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
Time now for an injury report. Let's get an update on Jackson. What's the status, Dave?
Hey guys, the Pistons head athletic trainer gave me an update. After taking a look, he informed me that it doesn't look too bad. Of course, the schedule is getting extremely demanding at this time of the season, and that injury is only going to make things worse. Kevin?
All right, David, thanks for checking in and letting us know how he's doing.
And let's just hope that he doesn't have any setbacks during his recovery.
Yeah, I'm with you there, guys. One thing we know is that he's not going to let it get him down. I mean, it'll only motivate him to work harder to get back as soon as possible. Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. And you think about the game of Karl Anthony Towns, the versatility, Clark. The versatility just leaps out at you.
Well, he's a man of his times, Kevin, when you talk about his game. I mean, that's where the game is now. And that's always been his ambition, to be as complete a player as possible. And at his size, he shoots it deep, he can post you up. And as he gets better as a passer, he's going to be harder to guard.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, well, Dwayne Casey just going over the game plan with his team down the stretch. He told them, put your foot on their neck. Take it to them. I want to see you guys slow it down out there, use the clock, and stay away from silly fouls. Let's see if they can execute the plan, guys.
Teague against Rose. Teague kicks to Zhang. They get a hand on it. Drummond dishes to Griffin. And Griffin slams it in.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
And guys on defense gasping for air at this point.
Well, I tell you what, Greg, what can they do? I mean, nobody can miss a shot. I mean, these guys are bringing it on offense right now.
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And Rose always been one of the best at getting to the line. The D has to avoid fouling in those situations.
And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Pistons.
Contested shots and block shots. They're bread and butter defensively. They're giving up no easy looks.
Yeah, but also they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
And he makes the first. In the recent CBA, there have been a lot of provisions put in there for retired players. Health insurance, increase in pensions, Clark, reimbursement for tuition. What do you think of these changes?
Love them, Kevin. Absolutely love them. And again, credit to the league and to the Players Association for thinking outside the box, reaching back to benefit some of the former players that are actually in need of these benefits and deserving of them. Come on now. Those guys paved the way in many ways for what we see of the league now. Most players appreciate and recognize that, and for it to be tangibly recognized and rewarded is great to see. I love it.
And that one's good. Drummond.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Timberwolves trail by 12. Teague, the pass to Covington. He dishes it to Towns. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Drummond, and so he's picked up his final foul, and he will sit for the rest of this game. Akers checked in for Detroit.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The free throw drops for Towns.
Towns, the first overall pick in 2015, a future MVP candidate. I mean, he's lived up to the billing.
Pachulia, he's checked in for Thonmaker. And Towns drops them both. So it's the Pistons now. Rose kicks to Griffin. Back to Rose from the stripe. Rebound by Jang. Jang's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. For 3, Covington. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Teague's got 6 assists in the game. Rose finds Griffin. He doesn't hit that one. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. Here's Wiggins. They get it again. The kick out to Teague. Here's Towns. And 3 chances on that possession, but they just couldn't find a way to score. Here's Morris inside. Griffin. And the rejection by Jang.
And this is something you'd like to see more of from Jang, given his size and wingspan.
Pistons leading by 7. Kennard's shot is off. Higgins outside. Griffin with the steal. Now Detroit moving it up. Morris with the ball. And he gets it to go. And the Pistons lead by 9. And here is Teague. And the foul on Derrick Rose. That's his first foul. Jordan Bell's checked in for Minnesota. Rose against Teague. Higgins outside. This one for 3. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got his 7th assist here tonight.
Nice fluid motion off the catch there, Kevin. I mean, Wiggins becoming a dangerous jump shooter.
Here's Griffin. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. There's the foul. That's against Minnesota. First free throw is good.
And Blake Griffin is just an incredible athlete, explosive and great balance and mobility, powerful. A big guy who can flat out throw it down, and he also can pass it too.
Langston Galloway's checked in for Detroit. Both free throws good from Griffin. Here's Teague. He kicks it to Covington. The dish to Bell. Here's Galloway. Griffin's shot is good. Griffin's got 22.
Shots are just flowing for him right now, having a really strong quarter.
Teague with the ball to the middle, trying to find Towns. Gets it to him. And it's Griffin with the rebound. And so Galloway with it. He'll bring it up for the Pistons. Towns with the steal. Pachulia with the steal. Floats one. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
Boy, they are feasting right now off of all of these turnovers.
D to O. It's been a major catalyst for him. Defense to offense.
That free throw good from Galloway. Timberwolves trail by 13. Outside Teague. Floats one, and he lays it up and in.
Boy, he's been excellent thus far, Kevin, but it still hasn't been enough to get them the lead.
Rose against Teague. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Here's Wiggins, banked in off the glass. Wiggins has got it back down to a single-digit deficit for Minnesota.
And you like to see since the half now, he's finally starting to come around.
Rose passes to Kennard. There's Galloway, covered by Wiggins. Galloway, no good. Minnesota's gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. And it's good, 2 points. And that's 21 points for Andrew Wiggins.
Boy, he's having a great half here. Exactly the opposite of the first.
Pistons leading by 7. Galloway kicks to Kennard. Ball's knocked loose. Covington with the steal. And the call will be against Luke Kennard. That is his first foul of the game. Now Teague. Now here's Covington. The pass to Bell. Here's Teague. Rebound, Detroit. Pachulia's got his 5th rebound in this one. Griffin passes to Kennard. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Towns has got 14. Yep, 14 rebounds for him tonight. Wow. To the paint. It's tipped. Griffin with the steal. Here's Galloway. Good D by Bell.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
Morris is checked in for Detroit. Tony Snell comes in for Derrick Rose. Timberwolves trail by 7. Minnesota calls timeout. And with the fourth quarter push coming up here, the coach going over the game plan and these players rehydrating themselves with Gatorade, recharging their bodies, refocusing their minds, and getting that strategy down to close out the game. And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Blake Griffin.
And tell you what, he's worked very hard to get himself in good position throughout the course of this game. And that comes across in his shooting percentage. He's hit over half his shots from the field. And that's not because he got hot as much as it's because of the effort he put in to get himself open.
Well, he needed a game like this badly. He's been struggling for a while now, but tonight he broke out of that slump in style. Towns against Morris. It'll go, and the Detroit lead is cut down now to just 5 on the basket from Karl Anthony Towns.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside. Bell against Griffin.
trying to get something going, and he sinks the layup. Griffin's got 24 points.
Yeah, how about the strength and focus there of Griffin? Absorbs the hit and still finishes.
Towns, that's good, and so Teague with the assist. Teague's got 9 assists in the game. Great passer. And he knocks down the first one. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Timberwolves trail by 7. Passes it to Towns. Over Morris. Towns, no luck. Detroit's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Here's Kennard, defended by Covington. Shoots from 14. Morris, no good. Minnesota's gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. The offensive rebound. And he banks in the layup. And that's 23 points for Andrew Wiggins.
And Kevin, that could be an important bucket as this game tightens up. I mean, Wiggins looking sure of himself out there.
Rose finds Griffin. Detroit, no good that time either. Minnesota's shooting has been great, up over 50%. In fact, 52%. Teague, the pass to Towns. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Showing determination inside. Towns absorbs the contact and gets the whistle.
2 shots.
Good on the first, and that shrinks the margin to just 4. And Towns drops them both.
And you just knew he wasn't going to miss that one. Not with so much riding on it.
Rose scanning the floor. Griffin against Bell.
Is it me, or does it just feel like he gets every rebound that comes up?
Well, he practically has gotten every one that's available. A 20-plus rebounding game is not something we get to see very often, Greg.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Vitally important. I mean, if you relax for a second, you're cooked. You're toast. They learned that lesson there.
He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though. And the second of 2 is good. That shrinks the margin to just 4.
Listen, they're still right in this thing. Missing that free throw, though, keeps this a 2-possession deficit.
Towns comes with a double team. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. Minnesota with the ball. And here are the Timberwolves. They're on a 15-6 run.
Now, that is cold-blooded.
Indeed it is. Love seeing him deliver when they need him most. No fear taking these shots. I love it.
And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall.
And for Derrick Rose, the question will be how much of his MVP level of play from 2011 can he recover? You'd love to see him return to that form.
Minnesota calls timeout. They trail by 3. 24 seconds left in the fourth quarter. .24 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And here is Teague to the right side. The 17-footer. It's good! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
Absolutely amazing, Kevin. This young man is so money, and his teammates absolutely love it. Carl
Anthony Towns, a.k.a. Big Cat.
First free throw is good, and that will put them up by 2. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
And the perfect time to be perfect at the line. Only a 3 can tie it now.
For 3, Covington. He's off from 3. And they stop the clock as soon as they can with the intentional foul.
Honestly, just doing what they have to in order to get the basketball back.
That's a good foul, though. I like that. I mean, clock management crucial at this time of the game.
And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss. And he ends up making the second, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. Here's Teague. And so the big win by Detroit in a tight game. A truly gutsy performance away from home.
You know, it really was. And Kevin, when this one was hanging in the balance late, they showed just what a tough-minded group they can be.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Blake, very strong game offensively. What gave you the confidence to take over?
I'm just putting in the work, and my teammates honestly believing in me and telling me to be confident at the end of the game. So I owe a lot to them. They came up with big plays. Just everybody working together.
Very good win for you tonight, Blake. Congrats. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that about wraps it up. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time.